Hi, everybody. I know that you are usually used to seeing me on a GoPro or somewhere else on my YouTube channel, but today I'm going to just make a regular sit down video. And this is because it is Complex Regional Pain Syndrome Awareness Month. Yes, November is orange for CRPS awareness. So if you want to hear about anything that I have to say about this specific topic and also raising awareness, please just keep watching. So first off, what is CRPS? Well, complex regional pain syndrome is a neurological pain condition where the pain receptors in the brain are being misfired to that affected limb in the body. Now, I know that you might be thinking that that's not the most scientific reasoning behind what it is or definition of it, but that's for a few reasons. I need you guys, whether you're family, friends, or just somebody who has no clue what CRPS is, I want you guys to understand exactly what it is. CRPS can affect any part of the body. It causes an intense burning that can be both nerve pain, but something that I typically describe is that the burning and the ache is so deep that it almost feels like it's to the bone. Unfortunately, people experience it in different ways. I've also said that if you take a sunburn, that's a pretty painful sunburn. Okay, we've all had it. And you multiply that by 1,000,000, now we're talking at getting closer to CRPS. CRPS is also known as the worst pain condition known to man. And unfortunately, it's also known as the suicide disease. I want to just say here that if you're struggling with CRPS or if you're struggling to continue living through it, just know that you're incredibly strong and that I am always here to support you in any way possible. But overall, I have it from my shoulders down to the tips of my fingers. How much of it do I have? Who knows? I mean, I experience the pain still. I get that question pretty frequently after I finished treatment last year, which I did end up talking about. So you can go ahead and watch that. I'll link it below. But it doesn't matter because once you've had it, once you've experienced that type of pain, it changes you. And that's something that happened to me. I got it when I was 17 years old after a surgery didn't go over that well. I had a lot of symptoms pretty quickly. And then up until 22, I didn't have much help for it. I mean, I went to appointments, I went to things like that, but that didn't necessarily do everything that I needed it to do. I was tortured for a good 5 or so years. I continued going through college. I commuted. But something that you don't realize is that all of these things that happen between even that time period of being 17 all the way up until I'm now 23, when you lose pieces of that growing, that social growing. So I'm talking about you go to parties, you mess things up, you get a driver's license right around that time, you go away to college and learn how to be an adult. All of those things were missed by me. And that's something that's not always widely talked about in terms of CRPS. It's something that I still deal with to this very day. I'm trying to figure it out. But on the flip side, living in that much pain can actually cause you to become more mature. There's some maturity about people who are going through something incredibly difficult. We learn to look at life a completely different way. So why exactly would there be a CRPS Awareness Month? People simply don't know about it. It's not found all over all the time, and then it oftentimes goes undiagnosed. I continue to raise awareness both through YouTube, my TikTok, my blog. I am continuing to share about it because I'm so passionate that people know that it's a thing. We don't deserve to suffer in silence, and we don't deserve to have to prove how we feel. I feel very strongly that once people understand what something is, they know incredibly more about how to help somebody. That's the same thing that I experienced with treatment. I've had several people ask me exactly where I went, and I went to the Kennedy Krieger Institute here in Baltimore, Maryland. But yes, that's a very special program, and I highly recommend going there. But does that mean that there aren't any other programs like it? Not exactly. I mean, I could say, and I do say, it is one of a kind, but the thing behind it was that I had people that I could trust and that I knew were going to help me through the deepest parts. There's something about when you have chronic pain so deep, chronic meaning every single day, most times of the day. Once somebody has that type of chronic pain, they'll really struggle with the overall understanding of fighting it, right? We work so hard to fight against it constantly. But to be completely honest, that's more exhausting. I had my therapist in treatment tell me all the time that my CRPS was in the driver's seat. And I used to just laugh and kind of ignore her and move along with it, but she's not wrong. CRPS was controlling me, and I was just fighting for the wheel, but I was staying in the passenger seat, if we're going with this hypothetical scenario. So something that clicked with me that I feel like has helped me to this very day is the idea of working alongside the pain, working with the pain. I have a friend of mine who I've become close with that we share a lot of the same issues, and I would tell her all the time, still do, to work with the pain. If the pain feels like you need to take a break while you're shopping, go find a chair and sit down while you're shopping. I know it almost feels like the minute you stop, you can't start up again. And that will feel like that sometimes. But a lot of the time, you're going to learn how to treat it like something that's in the back seat. Not even the passenger seat, but the back seat. It's there. It's coming along with you, unfortunately. But that's the only way that I full-heartedly believe to be able to live with the pain. We need to stop searching for a cure when we ourselves have it. Let scientists and people who study this, let them figure out a cure. That would be lovely. But for us, I let 5 years of my life go past me as if I'm just a statue in a garden. I will say that I just kind of thought that I would just be that person sitting on a couch for my life, going through the motions, but not feeling alive. That's no way to live. We don't have to live like that. I still struggle with pain a lot of the day. I fight it constantly, but I fight it in a way that allows me to work with it, to work alongside it. That's what kind of has gotten me to this point where I have a job I love. I have friends I love. I have an apartment that I worked my butt off for. But it's something that I still struggle with. And I never want to show the way CRPS is by acting like it's easy. There is nothing easy about this. I just got discharged from occupational therapy a few days ago. And last night I could feel the anxiety and the stress of, how am I going to do this on my own? How am I going to figure out how to continue opening my hands on my own? I've done it for a year before I started to go back into occupational therapy. I can do it, but sometimes that pain is so loud that it's distracting. You do not need to wait. You need to pick now to live. Time doesn't slow down. Pretty soon you'll look back and say, geez, that's a big portion of my life gone. It does make me slightly emotional just because I missed a lot. I missed a lot. I still lived. I'm alive today, but I was just waiting. You don't need to wait. You need to figure out how to work with the pain. Eventually, it'll start to fade. I'm so grateful for the treatment I've done and the people I've met and everything. It's why I am where I am. But that's when you pick to get up off the couch or the bed and just move. I used to, when I was really in my midst, my hands would cramp up in bed at night. And it'd be so painful. And the swelling would be so bad. But I would get up in the middle of the night. It could be 2 or 3 a.m. Get on the ground and make myself do planks. I would literally be on all fours crying in my room, fighting to keep that plank because I knew that if I showed the pain, I can still move. And if I put that just body pressure onto my hand, it would help. But that's what CRPS is. So if you have CRPS, if you know someone who has CRPS, if your family's, friends, whoever, learning how to work with the pain is one thing. It's very important. And so many people pick different reasons why CRPS is our own living hell. There's so many. I could write a list why it's a living hell. To me, the worst part to me is that CRPS isn't a disease that you just wait to get better or you take medicine. No. CRPS is a disease that requires you to do all of the things that hurt. I can't stand rough things on my arms or hands. But when I'm at a store and I pass a rough thing, I'm going to make myself touch it. And I know that sounds ridiculous. So if you have judgment, that's on you, but it's a real thing. Causes pain, anxiety, stress. There's nothing easy about CRPS. So if you have CRPS, learn how to work with it. Learn how to fight for yourself. If you know someone who has CRPS, during this month, it could be once a week, call them. Tell them how amazing they're doing. Write down a list of 5 good things they've done over the last year and give it to them. Any way to say, hey, I see you and I know you are working hard to work through this. We're all at different stages of healing. I go through rough patches all the time. I'm struggling with one now. but we need to provide a community of support and positivity. No more talking about what is your pain level. No more talking about what are your symptoms. Instead, what's the best thing that happened to you today? What's something that the minute you think of, it makes you smile? I can give a huge list. If CRPS wants to stay with me for the rest of my life, it very well can, because I've learned how to live with it. So I request something of you. Spread some awareness about CRPS. Color the World Orange Day is November 7th. Go on their website and find a location of where they're doing this. Do anything. Wear orange. I even have bracelets I give out sometimes. Do anything you can to spread awareness. We need people to know about this. I put myself out there. I share my story every single day in order to try to help people. I can't keep the wisdom I've learned to myself. I've made connections with people that will last a lifetime, and I will continue doing that. Just please know, CRPS can coexist, but we have a life to live, and you've got a community there to support you. So again, I love you. I know you. I see you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some wisdom. Please celebrate CRPS Awareness Month. I plan on going on and getting, I don't know, orange cookies, wearing orange, who knows what, but we need to celebrate because this is another CRPS year. I have grown more than I ever thought I could. I continue to post things on social media and get my story out there. Speaking of which, I have an announcement. I am beyond excited to announce that I have a secret project in the works. This is a project that could make my CRPS story and awareness go bigger than I ever thought it would be. So if you're at all interested in reading, wink, click follow, click subscribe, click like. I have all of my social media attached in the bottom, and I will see you in my next one.